The morning rush at McDonald's was loud as usual. The coffee machine hissed, kids cried, and someone kept dropping coins near the counter. But Mia didn't complain. She wiped the trays, smiled at the customers, and greeted each one with a cheerful, "Good morning." She was 22, lived in a tiny shared apartment, and worked double shifts just to pay her bills. Still, she tried to stay kind and positive. Her mother used to say, "No matter how small the job, do it with pride." Mia never forgot that. It was on one of these mornings that he walked in. He wore a simple gray suit, clean but not flashy. His shoes were shiny, and his watch looked expensive, but he didn't act proud. He stood in line like everyone else, eyes calmly watching the menu. When it was his turn, he ordered a black coffee and an Egg McMuffin. Mia smiled. "That'll be $5.99. He handed her the money and gave a small smile in return. "You have good energy," he said. Mia blinked, surprised. Thanks?" He sat at the corner table, far from the noise, and quietly ate his breakfast. Then he left. The next day, he came again. Same time, same order, same quiet smile, and the next day. And the next. After a week, Mia asked, "You must really like Egg McMuffins," he chuckled. "I like how you treat people." She blushed and looked down. "I just try to be polite." "You're more than polite," he said. "You're kind." That day, he stayed a little longer. He asked about her name, where she was from, and what she liked to do outside of work. She told him she liked drawing, even if she couldn't afford art supplies anymore. He listened. Over the next few weeks, he came every day. His name was Tomar, but everyone called him Tom. Mia found him strange, but in a good way. He asked thoughtful questions, remembered small details, and never once made her feel small. One rainy afternoon, as the restaurant emptied, Mia saw Tom still sitting at the corner table. She brought him a napkin to wipe his glasses. "You don't talk much about yourself," she said. "I find people more interesting than myself," he replied. "But you must do something. You dress too neat to be jobless." He looked at her, paused, then smiled. "What if I told you I'm a millionaire?" Mia laughed. "Then I'd say, why are you eating McDonald's breakfast every day?" Tom leaned forward, elbows on the table. "Maybe I wanted to see if someone would talk to me without knowing." Mia stared at him. "Are you serious?" He nodded. "Dead serious." She didn't know whether to believe him. He didn't act rich. No driver, no fancy phone, no pride. Just a calm man with a warm smile. "Why tell me?" she asked softly. "Because I think you're special. But I don't want to make a mistake. So I want to know something." Mia tilted her head. "Know what?" Tom stood up and placed his coffee cup on the tray. "If I lost everything tomorrow, if I was the one working behind that counter, would you still smile at me?" Before she could answer, he walked out into the rain. Mia stood frozen. Her heart was pounding. Was it a joke? A game? Or was it something real? That night, Mia could not sleep. She lay on her old mattress, staring at the ceiling. The rain tapped softly on the window, like it had something to say. But her mind was filled with only one thing: Tom's question. If I lost everything tomorrow, if I was the one working behind that counter, would you still smile at me? She didn't know how to answer it. Of course she would smile. That's who she was, right? But something about the way he asked it made her feel like it was more than just a question. It felt like a test. She didn't see Tom the next day, or the next after that. A whole week passed. His corner seat stayed empty, and each morning felt dull without his calm presence. Mia found herself glancing at the door more often, hoping he'd walk in with that same quiet smile and say something thoughtful. But he never came. Her coworker Lisa noticed. "You okay, Mia? You've been kind of spaced out lately." Mia just smiled faintly. "I guess I'm just tired." But inside, she was restless. Was he really a millionaire? Was it all a joke? Did he get bored of her? Or was he waiting to see something? One morning, as she walked to work in the early light, she saw a man sitting outside the McDonald's. He wore a hoodie and jeans. His face was half hidden by the cap he wore, and his shoes were worn out. At first, she thought it was a stranger. But then he looked up. It was Tom. Mia stopped in her tracks. His suit was gone. His clean-shaven face now had a small beard. There was no briefcase, no watch. Just him. She walked over slowly. Tom, he smiled up at her. Good morning, Mia. Her heart jumped. Where have you been? Here and there, he replied calmly, trying to remember how it feels to have nothing. She stared at him. Why? I told you, he said gently. I wanted to know something about you, about me. Mia sat down beside him on the cold bench. You don't need to test people like that. Maybe, he said, but when you have money, it's hard to know who's real and who wants something from you. Mia looked at him seriously. I never wanted anything from you. I know, he said, looking into her eyes. That's why I came back. They sat in silence for a moment. The morning was cold, and the city hadn't fully woken up yet. Finally, Mia spoke again. So, are you really a millionaire? He chuckled softly. Yes. Then what are you doing here like this? I gave my assistant one task, Tom sighed. Take away all my cards, keys, and access for 1 month. I wanted to feel invisible again. See how people treat me when they think I'm no one. Mia shook her head. That's a strange test. Maybe, he agreed. But sometimes, being rich builds walls. I wanted to break them. And what did you find? Tom looked at her with a warm, tired smile. I found that the only person I missed every day was the girl who gave me coffee and kindness. Mia looked away, blinking back a strange feeling in her chest. You could have just told me all this, she said softly. I was afraid, he admitted. Afraid that maybe I liked you because you were kind to me. But now I know it's because of who you are, not how you treated my money. Mia smiled. Well, next time you test someone, maybe just ask them out like a normal person. Tom laughed. And for the first time in days, she laughed too. After that morning, Tom started visiting again, this time, not in a suit, not in a rich man's shoes, but just as himself. He would wait for Mia to finish her shift, and they would sit outside on the same bench, talking about life, dreams, and small silly things that didn't cost anything. He never brought up money again, and Mia never asked about it. She liked him this way. Not because of his past or his wealth, but because he listened, and he made her feel seen. One evening, as the sun began to set and the sky turned orange, Tom said something strange. I want to show you something, he said, his voice quiet. Mia looked at him. What is it? It's part of who I am. A part one didn't want to show until I was sure. She nodded slowly. Okay, I trust you. He smiled, then stood up. Come with me. It's not far. They walked a few blocks, away from the noise of the street, until they reached a quiet parking garage. It looked ordinary, gray walls, yellow lights. A little dusty. Tom led her to a metal door on the side. He pulled out a small device from his pocket, something Mia had never seen before. It had no buttons, just a blue light that glowed when he touched it to the lock. The door clicked open. Inside was not a normal room. It was a small lab. There were screens, machines, and a long table full of parts and glowing pieces of tech. Mia couldn't understand. She gasped. What is this? Tom stepped inside. This is the other part of my life. Mia followed him slowly. You're not just a millionaire, are you? No, he said. I'm a builder. I design advanced technology. Quietly. Secretly. Like computers? Tom smiled. Much more. This is not just human tech. Some of this came from space. Mia froze. What do you mean? Tom walked over to a small box and opened it. Inside was a glowing metal sphere, floating slightly above a soft pad. It pulsed gently with light. I found this 5 years ago, he said. Crashed deep in the forest. I don't know where it came from, but it changed everything. Mia was speechless. He continued, It's not dangerous, don't worry. But it helped me create things, machines that fix themselves, batteries that never die, and even materials that can heal. You made all that? She whispered. He nodded. I've been hiding it. If the wrong people find out, they'll use. If for power, for war, then why show me? Tom looked at her, his eyes serious. Because I trust you. And because if anything ever happens to me, I want someone good to know the truth. Mia walked closer to the sphere. It's beautiful. It doesn't even look real, Tom smiled. It's very real. And I've only scratched the surface. She turned to him. Why keep working at all if you already have so much? Because money was never the goal, he said. It's about discovery. And now, I want to use it to help people, quietly, carefully. Mia looked around the room again. She didn't know much about science, but she knew one thing: Tom wasn't just a rich man. He was someone carrying a secret much bigger than himself. And now he had shared that secret with her. A part of her was afraid, but another part was proud. She looked at him. Thank you for trusting me, he nodded. There's more I want to show you, but only if you want to be part of it. She smiled, her heart steady. I do. For the next few days, Mia couldn't stop thinking about the glowing sphere. Even while taking orders or cleaning tables at McDonald's, her mind drifted to Tom's secret lab, the floating metal, and the quiet hum of the machines that didn't belong to this world. After her shifts, she met Tom every evening. He slowly began showing her more of the lab maps, blueprints, and machines that looked like something from a sci-fi movie. But everything he showed her, he explained with care. He never rushed, he never bragged, and Mia listened. Not because she understood all the science, but because she saw how much it meant to him. One night, as they sat in the lab, Tom's expression turned serious. There's something else you need to know, he said. Mia looked up. What is it? I think someone's watching me. Her eyes widened. Watching you? Like spying? Tom nodded. 3 days ago, I noticed a small drone outside my apartment window. It was gone before I could grab it. Maybe it was just a toy, Mia said. No, he said calmly. It was military made, quiet, fast, and expensive. Do you think they know about the sphere? I hope not. But I don't believe in luck when it comes to things like this. Mia stood up, nervous. So, what do we do now? Tom walked over to a locked cabinet and opened it. Inside were small tracking devices and what looked like metallic cards. I built a system to detect energy signals, he explained. If they scan this place, I'll know. But we need to be careful from now on, Mia swallowed. Are we in danger? Not yet, he said. But if someone finds out what I've been working on, they'll come fast. They'll want to take it, even if it means hurting you. He didn't answer. He didn't need to. That night, Mia walked home with her hood pulled tight. Her eyes kept checking every corner, every shadow. She'd never been part of something like this. She'd never had a secret so big that people might chase them for it. Halfway to her apartment, she noticed something strange. A black car parked under a broken streetlight. No sound, no lights. Just sitting there. She kept walking. But the next day, the car was there again. And again the day after that. Finally, she told Tom, I think I'm being watched now too, she said quietly. Tom's jaw tightened. Then, they're getting closer. What do they want? The sphere. The designs, maybe even me, he said. But most of all, they want control. If they get their hands on this technology, they'll use it for power, weapons, control over people. Mia stepped forward. We can't let that happen. Tom looked at her, surprised. You still want to be part of this, even now? Mia nodded firmly. Yes, you trusted me. I'm not walking away now. Tom reached into his coat and handed her one of the metal cards. "What is it?" she asked. "A key," he said. "It will only work if something goes wrong. If I ever disappear, or if the lab is destroyed, this card will lead you to a backup." Mia stared at it, feeling its weight. "This is real now," she said. "It's always been real," Tom said later that night. A camera hidden inside the black car blinked. A voice came through a small speaker. "The girl has access. Keep watching." Another voice replied through static. "Do we move in?" "Not yet," the first voice answered. "Let's see what they do next." It was midnight when Tom's alarm system beeped. He woke up instantly. The small screen beside his bed flashed red. "Unauthorized entry detected. Lab door." Tom's heart raced. He jumped out of bed, grabbed his jacket, and ran out of his apartment. As he drove toward the hidden lab, his thoughts were sharp. Only he and Mia knew how to open that door, unless someone had forced it. He parked quietly and approached the lab entrance from the back. The door looked normal, no signs of damage. But when he stepped inside, he froze. The lab was a mess. Papers scattered, tools knocked over. The glowing sphere was gone from its case. "No," he whispered. He searched every corner, opened every drawer, but the main sphere was gone. Only a few backup designs were untouched. Tom pulled out his phone and sent Mia a single message. "They got in. Stay inside. Lock your door." Mia was half asleep when her phone buzzed. When she read Tom's message, she sat up straight. She locked the windows and door, then checked her small backpack. The metal card was still there, safely hidden in the bottom pocket. She didn't sleep again that night. The next morning, Tom met her in a quiet coffee shop instead of McDonald's. His eyes looked tired. His hands wouldn't stop tapping the table. "They took the main sphere," he said in a low voice. "They left the rest." "Why not everything?" Mia asked. "Because they don't know how it works, yet." "Do you think they'll come for the blueprints next?" Tom nodded. "I need to move everything. Hide it in different places." "What about the card you gave me?" Tom looked around the cafe, then leaned closer. "That card opens a different lab, one even more hidden. It has a backup copy of everything, designs, videos, even a second sphere I never touched." Mia blinked. "There's another one?" "Yes, I never activated it. I was afraid it might be too powerful." "Do you think whoever took the first one will figure it out?" Tom's voice grew quiet. "If they do, it could change everything." That evening, a news article quietly appeared online. "Unknown object stolen from private tech facility. Police investigating." But there were no details, no pictures, no name mentioned. Tom showed Mia the article. "They're keeping it quiet. Whoever stole it must be powerful enough to silence the press." "Government?" Mia guessed. "Maybe, or a private group with connections." Tom stood up and handed her a small box. "Keep this with you. It's a tracker. If anything happens to me, press the red button." She held it tightly. "You're scaring me, Tom." "I know," he said. "But I'd rather scare you than lose you." That night, while Mia was walking home, she felt it. A shadow behind her. She turned a corner and looked back. A man in a black cap was walking slowly, matching her pace. He didn't speak. He didn't run. She walked faster. He walked faster. Her heart pounded. She turned down another street. It was darker there. Empty. Suddenly the man called out. "You work with Tom, don't you?" Mia stopped. "Who are you?" she asked. He didn't answer. He took a slow step forward. Mia backed away. Her hand reached into her bag. "I don't know what you're talking about," she said, trying to sound calm. He tilted his head. "We know about the second sphere. Tell us where it is, and you won't get hurt." Mia's fingers touched the red button on the tracker. She pressed it. A small beep came from the box. The man's eyes narrowed. "You shouldn't have done that," he said. But before he could move, a car's headlights turned a corner. Tom's car. The man took off running. Tom jumped out, rushed to Mia, and pulled her into the car. "Are you okay?" he asked, breathless. She nodded, shaking. He knew about the second sphere. Tom's face turned pale. "They're getting closer." Tom didn't sleep that night. He paced the floor of his apartment, looking at the map on the wall. Red dots marked locations he used for storage, backups, and secret tech labs. His mind was racing. They knew about the second sphere. That meant they were either watching him very closely, or someone close had betrayed him. At 4 a.m., he finally stopped pacing and picked up his phone. He called Mia. She answered in a sleepy voice. "Tom? Is everything okay?" "We're leaving at sunrise," he said. "We have to move the second sphere, now." At dawn, Mia waited outside her apartment with her backpack. She had packed light, just water, snacks, the metal keycard, and the tracker. Tom arrived in a black SUV. He didn't say much. He handed her a jacket and said, "It'll be cold where we're going." They drove out of the city and into the mountains. The roads became narrower and the trees taller. Birds flew overhead and the sky turned a soft shade of orange. It looked peaceful, but both of them knew peace didn't last long when secrets were involved. After 2 hours, Tom turned onto a dirt path. A tall metal gate blocked the road. He pressed a button on the dashboard and the gate opened slowly. Behind it stood a small wooden cabin. "Is this it?" Mia asked. Tom nodded. "The lab is under the cabin." They stepped inside. It looked like a normal mountain cabin, wooden floor, simple furniture, and a fireplace. But Tom walked straight to the bookshelf and pulled a hidden lever. A part of the floor slid open, revealing stairs. Mia followed him down. The hidden lab was smaller than the city one, but cleaner and more organized. In the center was a glass case, and inside it floated a second sphere, just like the first. It glowed softly, its light pulsing like a quiet heartbeat. Mia stared at it. "It's beautiful." Tom opened the case carefully. "It's untouched. I kept it here for emergencies." "Like now?" "Yes," he said. "We're going to move it, somewhere no one will expect." Suddenly, a soft beep came from his watch. Tom's eyes narrowed. "Motion sensor. Someone's near the cabin." Mia's heart jumped. "How did they find us so fast?" "I don't know," Tom said. "But we don't have time to run." He picked up the sphere and placed it inside a special metal case. "This will block the signal. Help me pack the rest." They worked fast, putting away the tools and the backup drive. Then Tom handed her a small bag. "Take this," he said. "If I get caught, don't stop. Go down the west trail. I'll meet you at the river." Mia didn't like the sound of that. "What about you?" she asked. "I'll slow them down." "No," she said, gripping his arm. "We go together." He looked at her, then nodded. "Okay, but stay close." They reached the surface and stepped out of the cabin quietly. But as they moved toward the woods, a voice called out from behind, "Stop right there." They turned to see 2 men in dark clothing, holding weapons. One of them was the man Mia had seen before. "You really thought you could hide it again?" he said. Tom stepped in front of Mia. "You don't know what you're dealing with." The man smiled. "I know enough. That sphere can change the world." Tom shook his head. "Or destroy it." Just then, Mia took a small stone from the ground and threw it at the man's head. It hit him square on the forehead. He shouted and stepped back. Tom grabbed Mia's hand. "Run!" They dashed into the forest, the sound of footsteps behind them. Branches whipped past, the wind rushed in their ears, and the case in Tom's hands bounced with every step. They didn't stop until they reached the river. Both of them were breathless. Tom looked at her with amazement. "Nice throw, by the way." Mia laughed between gasps. "Thanks. I used to play softball." Suddenly, a drone flew over the trees above them. Tom looked up. "They're still tracking us." He looked down at the sphere's case, then at the car. "Water. We'll have to do something risky." Mia's eyes widened. What do you mean? We hide the sphere ... underwater. The cold river water rushed past Tom's boots as he stood at the edge, holding the metal case tightly. Mia shivered beside him, watching the dark water swirl. Are you sure about this? She asked, her voice trembling a little. Tom nodded. If we keep the sphere on land, they will find it. Underwater, the signal will be blocked. It's our best chance. Mia looked at the case and then at Tom's serious face. She trusted him, but fear prickled her heart. What if something went wrong? Okay, she said finally. Let's do it. Tom carefully opened the case and pulled out the glowing sphere. Its light was soft but steady. He wrapped it in a special protective cloth. Together, they walked into the river until the water reached their knees. Tom found a deep spot near some rocks where the water moved slower. Here, he said. He lowered the sphere into the water slowly, holding it as far below the surface as he could. Mia held her breath. Suddenly, the sphere stopped glowing. Tom whispered, "It's hidden." They waited a few more seconds, then pulled back to the shore. "Now, we watch and wait," Tom said. "No one can find it here." Mia nodded, feeling relief wash over her. For the next 2 days they stayed in the cabin, hiding and planning their next move. Tom's watch beeped sometimes, warning them about nearby drones, but they never left the forest. Mia helped Tom with small repairs in the lab and learned about the machines bit by bit. She was surprised how smart Tom was and how gentle he could be. One night, while they were sharing a simple dinner, Tom looked at Mia. "I never imagined I'd find someone like you," he said quietly. Mia smiled shyly. "I never thought I'd be part of something like this." They laughed softly, but the moment was real. On the 3rd day, as the sun set behind the mountains, they heard a noise outside, footsteps, soft but quick. Tom grabbed a small flashlight and peeked out the window. 2 figures were walking toward the cabin. Mia's heart stopped. "They're coming," she whispered. Tom nodded. "We have to be ready." They hid the last of the important devices and got ready to defend themselves if needed. But when the visitors came into the light, Mia gasped. It was a young woman. Her face was kind but serious. She held up her hands. "My name is Sarah," she said. "I'm not here to hurt you." Tom looked confused. "Who sent you?" "No one," Sarah said. "I'm part of a group that wants to protect the technology you have. We've been watching you because we believe you're different." Mia looked at Tom. "What do you think?" Tom stayed silent for a moment, then said, "Why should we trust you?" Sarah smiled. "Because we have the same goal, to keep this technology safe from those who want to use it for power." She reached into her bag and pulled out a small device. "This can detect the sphere's signal, but only if it's active." Tom shook his head. "It's underwater and it's hidden." Sarah's eyes lit up. "That's smart." Mia stood up. "So what happens now?" Sarah looked at both of them. "We can help you protect the sphere, but you have to let us in. Share what you know." Tom looked at Mia and then back at Sarah. After a long pause, he said, "Okay, we work together." That night, Sarah showed them a hidden network, a group of people around the world, working quietly to keep dangerous technology safe. Mia listened, amazed. "This is bigger than we thought," she whispered. Tom nodded. "But together we can stop those who want to take control." Mia smiled at Tom, feeling stronger than ever.